All right, well, welcome everybody. I'm excited tonight because we have a special guest joining us. Belinda Ellsworth, if you don't, she has been a professional speaker and consultant for more than 25 years, and she's helped thousands make better business decisions and create successful systems. Her iconic messages of good, solid business practices will stay with you forever and positively impact your life and business. Belinda is also an international best-selling author of the #1 book, I love this, Direct Selling for Dummies. She also hosts Work From Home Happy Place. So, and I know Belinda has also, with my previous company, has been a guest speaker as well with Gold Canyon. So I know we've met, it's probably been a long time, but I'm excited to hear from you again. So welcome, Belinda. We're so happy to have you join us tonight.
Thank you so much. And gosh, I remember my fun times at Gold Canyon. So I do remember that. It's been a long time, that's for sure. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining in tonight. We're going to have a fun night. We'll be together for just about to take us to the top of the hour. I'm going to train for probably about 50 minutes, and then we will talk a little bit about my planner, which is one of the better tools that I have designed for the direct selling industry. So we're going to break our training down into 2 segments, and the first one is going to be mindset, and then we are going to talk about skill sets. And the reason that we're going to do that is I have typically been a trainer for the last 27 years. I have been a trainer on skills. I teach people why they need to do something, what they need to do, what to say, and then I give analogies of bringing that to life. And that's the way that I've always taught. Over the years, though, I will have gone into either a convention or I will have done a leader state and spoke for a different leaders group, and inevitably what would happen is people would leave and the leader would say, oh my gosh, everybody was on fire, but these 2 ladies, they are just ready to explode their business. They're so excited. And then I would come back to her maybe 4, 5, 6 months later, and she would say, yeah, the one lady's already double promoted. She's taken off like crazy. And yet the other lady is exactly where she was before. And she said she left so excited and so on fire. Why do you think that is? Why can 2 people leave with the same information and get a completely different result? And at the time, I remember answering, well, I guess one just wanted it more than the other. And I kind of really believed that. And I do think that there's a validity in having a strong desire and really wanting something that you don't give up. I do believe that. But what I've learned over the years is it's people with a healthy mindset, people that truly believe in themselves, people that have learned different tools to help them keep a strong positive attitude, to keep moving forward, to not give up. There's a lot of that. You have to have that first, or when you just go out and try to do skill sets, a lot of times you'll try it one time and decide it's not going to work. Your leads aren't very good. It doesn't really matter what you do. And so it's your mindset that pulls you back down. So we're going to talk about that first. And then we are going to talk about the basics of the business, booking, selling, and recruiting. So let's dig right in. So each year, this is my 5th year that I've created a planner for the direct selling industry. And each year I put a lot of thought into what's our word of the year, something that I think everybody kind of really needs and that people can resonate with. And in 2021, it was being intentional. And I really felt that that was so important because it was a lot of fiery darts being thrown at us. A lot of people, if they could just redo 2021, they would. It was tough. It was hard, and everything was moving and changing. And what I saw through 2020 and 2021 is like people had to focus. They had to stay intentional in keeping their businesses moving. What I also found during that time is that people were saying a lot of things like, I'll be glad when things get back to normal. I'll be glad when I can start really working my business again. And what I've discovered in all of this is most people moved into survival mode and they really stopped dreaming big. They stopped thinking about the possibilities of what could really happen with their business and just were in survival mode. And dreaming is one of the most important things. Having vision and dreams for where you want your life, your business to go is one of the most important attributes you will have. And so a lot of people put their dreams on pause. So that is our theme for this year with the planner and at Step Into Success is to dream. So I started looking up like, okay, let's look some different things up about dreams and making dreams come true and you know, who's most likely to do that. And I really found some great information on the 4 key things that successful people have in common. So number 1 is they dream big. And dreaming big, I want you all to think about that. You know, like when maybe you were younger and you used to just sit and daydream about what were the possibilities. Do you remember that? And do you remember how it fueled excitement in you and it fueled you moving and working really hard? Well, it works for all ages. It's just that the older we get, the less we do it. And so it's really important that we revisit that and we sit down and think, what is your vision for your business? The other thing about dreams and vision is its purpose. And we're going to talk about goal setting here in just a minute because it is one of these 4 key things that successful people have in common. But there are 3 parts to a goal. And if you just set a goal without any purpose, then you will have a hard time staying focused. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you say, I want to sell $5,000 this month, but it's not really attached to anything. It's just like, well, you know what? 5,000 seems like a good number to set, and I'm going to set that. And let's see how we do. And then you go about trying to hit $5,000 and you come up short. Let's say you sell $4,200. Well, many people are going to feel disappointed or kind of feel like the wind's been let out of their sail and, oh, I'm never going to get to 5,000. I worked as hard as I could. So, but if the $5,000 goal is attached to a purpose or a dream, like if I sell $5,000 every month, or I average that for this year, this will give me this much income and we will be able to do this as a family. We will be able to pay off this debt and get free from that. We will be able to remodel our house. We will be able to possibly even get a different house. So when it is attached to a purpose or a dream, a vision, if you come up short with the 5,000, you're just like, okay, that's okay. I did 4,200. Next month, let's see what I got to switch around. You're excited. It's a much different feeling than when it's not attached to anything. So having vision, having dreams is really important to carry you through the tough times. It's that purpose of what keeps you going. And it's an important attribute. So I want everybody to sit down and say, gosh, you know, if I could have any kind of open book, what would I really like to be with my business? Where would I really like my business to go? And start really thinking big this year. Number 2 is enthusiasm. Successful people are enthusiastic. They're passionate, and they're not afraid to share that passion everywhere they go. And that's what I would really question you. Have you been sharing that passion or have you been in this just hanging on for dear life mode? You know, when you're excited, it is contagious. People want to be around other excitable people. When you're excited about your products, people are thinking, oh my gosh, I need to get this. There's an energy that goes with that enthusiasm. The most important reason, though, is that people will mirror what you put out. So if you are enthusiastic, people will be enthusiastic with you. If you are confident, people will be confident with you. And if you are hesitant, people will be hesitant with you. And if you're unsure, people will be unsure with you. And if you're lackadaisical, they'll be lackadaisical with you. So if you have a brand new special, maybe that's going on this month, or I'm sure you had many holiday specials that were happening. You probably have a new catalog or product releases that are going to be happening sometime soon. It's like calling people when you have that and saying, oh my gosh, Sandra, it's Belinda, and I'm so excited. We just announced our brand new catalog, our brand new products for spring. They are absolutely drop dead gorgeous, and I cannot wait to share them with you. You're absolutely going to love it, and so are your friends. And she goes, oh, I can't wait to see it. So then you start moving ahead in the conversation about either booking something or, what you're going to do with that. But if you call her up and say, hey, Sandra, it's Belinda, and just wanted to let you know we've got our new products released. And so if you see anything you like or there's something you want, let me know. And she says, all right, I'll take a look and then I'll get back to you. So that is that same energy you put out, is that same energy that people, they'll even mirror your cadence of your speech. They'll mirror the same level of excitement that you have. So make sure that you're bringing enthusiasm. Number 3, and this is a really big one, and that is a healthy, positive attitude. So being self-employed is not easy. In fact, that's one of the hardest things about being in direct sales, is that you are responsible for how you show up in a day. You're responsible for your schedule. You're responsible for the work you choose to do. It's all on you. And so having a healthy, positive attitude keeps us in a good frame of mind of having our own businesses. And so one of the things I do, so I'm going to share 3 key things that you can do, but this is like a little bonus tip. So one of the things I do is I have an half of a glass of water that sits on the end of my desk. It's probably been there for 30 years. And I look at that every day. And the reason I have it there is because it reminds me, when I sit down at this desk, I look at that glass and I say, it's your choice. It's your choice on how you choose to see the glass. How are you going to choose to show up today? And it just helps me to get in that frame of mind that if I see the glass half full, well, then my day is full of possibilities. Who am I going to talk to? Who am I going to meet? Who might be that one person that's going to place an order or that wants to hire you, or like that. Those are all the things that you consider and think of in a day. If my glass is half empty, a lot of times I look at it, doesn't really matter what I do today. Oh my gosh, I've got so much today. I'm overwhelmed. Like you already feel like you're overwhelmed before you get started. So have some things in place that can help trigger you to remember that it is important on how you show up in a day. Now, there are some things, that physical things that you can do that will help you keep a more positive frame of mind. And the first one is definitely surrounding yourself with positive people. You need a good tribe. And if you're hanging around with people that are always negative, always trying to, you always want to find solution-oriented people. You want to find the people that see the silver lining in things, not like, oh, yeah, I don't even know how you do that. It's so hard. I could never do what you do. Like that isn't the person that you want to go to saying, I'm kind of having a rough day, or gosh, my business is going really good. Yeah, I don't know how you do what you do. I could never do that. It's just, it's just not me. I could never, I would feel like I'm like begging people. Like you don't want to hang around with those people. They're going to bring you right on down. So try to find your tribe of really positive people. I've heard speakers often say, eliminate the negative people from your lives. And unfortunately, we can't really eliminate a lot of people because some of them are really good friends, or they're our sisters or our mothers or our spouses. I think you all know what I'm talking about. And so I always would hear that and think, well, that's kind of ridiculous, right? At the same time, though, here's where the rubber hits the road. The truth of it all is we can keep those people in our lives, but in the way that we have them in our lives. They don't need to be that person who is going to spur us on when we're doing a great job or pick us up when we are feeling down. That's the mistake that you make, is that you keep going back to those people hoping for a different result. So who sets yourself up to feel bad about it? You do. And I'm going to give you a very personal example of that. When I first became a speaker, I'd been several years into it, doing it, probably about 4. And there were several big companies I was just really trying to get, and one in particular. And we would try and we would send information and we would talk to different people. And then all of a sudden, there it was. I landed this big conference. It was the biggest one I'd ever done. There was almost 12,000 people in attendance. I was like over the moon excited. I was going to be there for like 9 days. And I was on fire. And I went to my mom. Now, my mom has never been, now she's supportive of me in other ways, but she has never been a big, huge support in my business. So I went to her and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I finally got this conference and I'm going to be there like 9 days. There's going to be like 12,000 people there. I remember my excitement level. I was so happy. And she said, oh, who's going to watch your kids? And I remember the just wind being thrown out of my sails just like that. But you know what? Who did that to myself? I did it to myself, because why was I expecting a different result? So you need to find your tribe of people, and you've either got it. It's a best friend. It could be your leader in the business. It could be another friend that you have that's in direct sales. It is, you need to find them. And it isn't just to pick you up when you're down, because you need that. You need, when you are doing something really good, you need someone to go, oh my gosh, that is so fantastic. Way to go. Like, you need a cheerleader as well. So I want you to really think hard about finding those right people. And then if your spouse or your best friend or a mom or a sister is not that person who's going to be your cheerleader, that's okay. Quit going to them looking for that then. Talk to them about other things. So positive people. Number 2, surround yourself with positive things, like your office. And first and foremost, your office should be somewhat organized and decluttered. You cannot work and be productive in a cluttered space. It wastes tons of time for you. And you will sit down and not be in a happy space. I don't care what you say. Like, when I sit down here, and if I have reorged everything, I sit down and my desk is clean and I'm ready to go. If I sit down here and I've got piles everywhere, I just feel like I don't even want to be in this room right now. So you need to make sure your surroundings are happy. Like, I have great frames on the wall with different motivational quotes and sayings. A lot of times people have sent me really cool cards that say really great messages on the front. I have a lot of those framed. It's a very inexpensive way to decorate, and yet it's so heartfelt because you'll remember who gave it to you, and it's got great messages on it. I've got pictures of my kids and my grandkids. So you want to surround yourself with really positive things that bring you joy. That's what I want to think. What's going to make you feel happy and joyful? Because that's going to make you be in a more positive frame of mind. And number 3 is probably the biggest one. I over the years was never a big, huge, like writing in a gratitude journal. I would do it off and on. I would do it for a hot minute, then I would quit, and I do it for a hot minute and quit. And I have to say, when COVID first happened, and in just about 10 days, I think that's about what it took, 10 days, was to lose an entire year's worth of bookings. Every convention, leadership event, regional event, everything I had booked on my calendar, and it was a full year, was gone just like that. And it was depressing. And I thought, oh my gosh, and I've got a staff, and what am I going to do? And I'd already been doing research on gratitude journals. I had a gentleman that was on my podcast that had stated people that use gratitude journals have a 40% greater chance of achieving their goals. And so when he said that, I was like, wow. And so I started doing my own research into gratitude journals. So I'd already planned to release one with our next planner, but I have to tell you, that's what I went to. I grabbed that, and every day I focused on what were the good things about my business, not what was going wrong with my business. Because if I focused every day on all that I had lost, my gosh, it would be hard to get up and get moving and change things. And yet that's exactly what we did in a very short window of time. And so I've continued to use that. I had a gratitude journal that I sold with the planner last year. This year, people had such great results with it last year. We actually gave it a complete new facelift this year. It's more like a book. It's a flat lay binding book that you can write in. It still has the top 3 things you're grateful for every day, but it also has prompts on like happiness and growth and love and beauty and different topics that really help people in thinking about the different things that they are grateful for. People that use gratitude journals have a healthy, positive attitude. They have more of an abundancy mindset versus a scarcity mindset. They actually, you can't be grateful and then be sort of woe is me in the same space. You know, you can't feel sorry for yourself and have a mindset of gratitude in the exact same space. So if you can continue to flush that out with more things you're grateful for, that I feel sorry for myself attitude will kind of start to diminish. Scarcity mindset, that's where you guys are afraid to ask a customer if they want anything else, if they'd like to add to their order. Scarcity mindset is where you go, oh, that's my best customer. I don't want to recruit her because then I'm gonna lose a bunch of sales. It's like, no, you're adding somebody awesome to your team and you're gonna find another awesome customer. They're everywhere. So when you have an abundancy mindset, you don't even stop and think about that. And there is actual data now on that people that use gratitude journals actually have a not only a healthier mental well-being, but a physical well-being. Doctors are starting to use gratitude journals in treatment protocols with like stroke patients to keep them focused on their wins instead of what they've lost. So it's actually really quite interesting. And it's probably the number one thing of creating a habit of gratitude that can help you keep a healthy, positive attitude. Number 4 is goal setting. Now, goal setting is huge. I've taught goal setting for, 30 plus years. And honestly, some people are really good at it and others aren't. And so I keep continuing to develop, like, how can we help everybody be successful in setting a goal? And so there are 3 parts to this goal setting. There is the vision piece of it, or the purpose, your why you're doing what you're doing. You have to have that figured out. Then there's the actual task itself. Like, I want to sell $5,000. I want to recruit 3 people in a month, whatever that task is. But then you have to have part 3, which is a plan of action. If you don't have a plan of action, then it's just hit or miss whether you do that goal or not. You can't just post something and hope, like on social media, which is what so many people do. I'm just going to post this and hope somebody responds. No, there's things we can do to help bring that to life. It's the same thing with your goals. So if you want to sell $5,000 in a month, what do you got to do? You got to sell $1,250 in a week. How are you going to sell $1,250 in a week? What does that comprise of? Is that how many people are ordering through your customer community? Are you doing events online or in person? Do you have a vendor event online or in person set up? Like, what measures do you have in place that are going to ensure that you're going to sell $1,250 in a week? So that is your plan of action. You also need to understand that there is no failure. And this is where people get hung up in setting goals, because they're like, well, I don't want to fail. I don't want to set myself up for failure. Goals are benchmarks on your journey of success. You have a vision, you have a dream of what you're doing it for. You set out the benchmarks that help you along the way. And you know what? Sometimes you're going to come short. But that's okay. Because if you don't ever set the goal at all, you're still going to be sitting in your driveway. We always want to be moving in a forward motion. When I was young, we used to always go to Florida every year. I live in Michigan. And I'll tell you what the weather and what it's been here in these last few days. I wish I was in Florida. That's what I wish. But anyway, we used to always make this road trip, and my dad would map the whole thing out of where we were going to eat breakfast, then where we were going to eat dinner, where we were going to spend the night before we got to Florida. And sometimes we didn't hit his exact benchmark. Like, he always liked to get in this one city in Georgia before we stopped and spent the night. And I remember one year traffic was horrific. There was tons of construction, and we had to stop in Tennessee and spend the night. But he doesn't look at us and say, okay, guys, we're packing it up. We're going home. Like, we're abandoning our trip to Florida. No, we just adjust the times and we adjust what we got to do. And that's what you need to do, is just adjust those plans, those take action steps. So I want to encourage everybody. Successful people set goals. So what goals are you going to set for this year? Now, as we transition right now, those are the 4 key things for having a healthy mindset. We're going to transition one of those, which is really mindset and skill set. So it's kind of bridging into the skill sets. And that is be prepared for business. Be prepared for business. The more prepared you are to do your business, number one, the easier it will be to do. Number 2, the less likely you are to talk yourself out of it. And number 3, the more productive you will be. So that's a pretty big win there in being prepared. So what are some things that you can do to help you be better prepared for your business? First and foremost is your leads need a place to live. Do you have a very clear, concise place for your leads to live? Otherwise, you might have a few minutes before you have to leave somewhere, before you have to jump on a Zoom call, and you're like, I've got 20 minutes right now to make a few calls. But if you have to go hunting for who you would call, if you have to scramble through piles on your desks, you are going to be not as likely to do it. That's all there is to it. And then you talk yourself out of it. You're like, well, I'm going to look for them and clean up my desk. And then tomorrow I'll work on my calls. And then tomorrow doesn't come. The next day passes and the next day passes. So have your leads at your fingertips. Now, in our planner, we've created a space right in the back for leads. We even have a tab that says leads, so you can get right to them. Other people like using notebooks. Other people like using electronic tools like Evernote or Trello. Whatever works for you, it doesn't matter. It's having a place that you are consistent with, that every time that you get a lead or a referral, that's where it goes. So then you can follow up with that and continue to go back to it. Another way that you can be prepared for your business is with a content calendar. Now, we know that social media plays a big part of the way that we do our businesses today. I mean, it just does, especially post, and we're still in the pandemic for that matter. So it still plays a huge part, and it will continue to play a huge part regardless. It's just how people connect. It's where people are. And you always want to go where the people are. That's the one thing you want to remember in business. Go where the people are. So they're online. That's a big place where they are. So a content calendar is just a blank calendar that you print out at the beginning of the month. And then you sit down at the beginning of the month and you map out, all right, when am I going live? Okay, here's my customer community group. Some of you might refer to that as your VIP group. We're kind of shifting our name change with that, because the customers relate more to being in a customer community group as well. And it helps us get in the frame of mind of treating it like a customer community versus this is just where I post sales. So I want you to get in that frame of mind as well. So you sit down and you say, okay, here's Mondays. I like to just post a fun quote on Mondays, Monday motivational, and you write that in every Monday for the month. Then maybe you go live on Tuesdays. So every day at Tuesday at 4 or whatever time you want to do it, you go, go live in my community group. And then you can put like a product or a topic that you're going to talk about in each one. So that if you plan this out at the beginning of the month when you're excited, then even on days you're not feeling like it, you look at your sheet and you go, all right, I'm talking about this candle today. I'm talking about this collection today. And you go on and you do it, because you want to know what? Some days we don't feel like it. And if you don't have it mapped out, you can easily go, I don't know what I'm talking about today. You know what? I don't have to go live today. But your customers get used to you going live. So content calendars are helpful. Online recruiting packets, like one that lives on your desktop or on your phone. Do you have that ready to go? You know, you should be making lifestyle posts. You should be making posts about, you know, even in your community group, maybe you're looking for a fun, flexible way to make some additional income. Mia Bella is a great, easy way. Candles are one of the number one, you know, top sellers. People buy candles all of the time. If you just would like some more information and take a closer look at what we're all about, you know, comment below, comment or private message me. I'm going to give you another little tip here about this on social media. Kind of a no-no right now, or what people don't like, is when you talk about something and then say, for more information, private message me. Because then people feel like, oh, they must be hiding something, or, oh, what's the rest of the story? I'm not even going to bother with that. So by saying, if you want to know more, comment below, or you can feel free to private message me. So a lot of times you can get a good conversation going in doing that. So that is one thing that I really want you to think about as well. But you've got to have that packet. What if you made a really cool post and say, oh, I'm so excited, I bought this for my house today, and I've always wanted one of these. I'm so glad I had the extra income with maybe a Mia Bella business. And then somebody says, I need to know more about that. And then what do you have to do? Go to your back office and hunt for the comp plan, the kit flyer. You know, do you already have a letter made up? You should have all of that in a folder that in 30 seconds, when somebody's hot and interested, you want to get them that information. And then one of the last things for you to be prepared in your business is if you are doing online events. So an online party, online show, whatever you want to refer to that as, is have a template. And you can have a couple different templates. You know, probably the most popular party, especially 2020 and 2021, was a 5-day event. That seems to be the most popular. You do 2 days of posts, warming up your group. You do a live on the 3rd day. You do 2 days posts of follow-up and taking orders. That's still a very popular one. But you know what? 3 days are really popular now too. People are like, I don't want this to drag on for 5 days. So have a template for 3 days. And basically you take that same thing I just gave you and then what? Knock one off on either side of it. 1 day of prepping everybody, posts on day 2 of, you know, product videos, do the live in the evening. And then on day 3, follow up and talking about booking and recruiting. Bam, that's a 3-day event. Some people are, there's a big popular one. I just want 1-day event. I just want to go on there, 1-day event. And people call them a 10 post party. So it's just 10 posts in a day. You go live really quickly at the end of the evening and it's done. And some people are having great success with that. But these are templates and you can have the different posts that you're going to make. You can have your outline of what you're going to say, which products you're going to share. This can streamline and you're able to do multiple parties online, which will increase your sales dramatically. All right, so those are just some ways to be prepared. So now I want to dive in and I just want to talk about the 3 areas of your business. And that, of course, is booking, selling, and recruiting. Now, whether if you just sell online and that's how you want to operate your business, well, you certainly can. But still, I'm just going to share with you doing online parties. An online party is nothing more than, and in fact, I want you to even kind of quit calling it an online party, because right now everybody's going back to it, whether they were doing anything in person, and everybody's hearing the same thing from everybody. And what we have a tendency to do with bookings is we have a tendency among ourselves to use shop talk. And the one thing about an online quote unquote party or event, it's really an online shopping experience. You are creating a fun online shopping experience for a group of friends. That's how I want you to think about it. And there is no quicker way to get more sales, add more people to your community, customer community group, have people to reservice. We know candles are a consumable product and you're going to want to be reservicing them. So the best way is to add customers as quickly as possible and get those sales. And there's no better way to do that than in a group event. There just honestly isn't. So that is, in my opinion, the best way. And then the secondary to that, the second way that you're going to sell products, and a lot of them, is through your customer community. So let's just talk about bookings for a minute. When you are talking to someone about getting that booking, you know, you want to be like, hey, how would you like to gather a group of your friends together for a fun, unique shopping experience? We're going to share a little bit of information about the products. We'll show you some great deals. We'll give some information so that your friends are informed. They'll be able to ask questions. We'll do some fun giveaways, and everybody will have a great time. Doesn't that sound so much better than how would you like to have an online party? So you see sort of the difference in that. Another thing is there was a short window here, and maybe some of you are in areas where you still are, where people were doing in-person events again. But then we don't want to give up what we've learned online. It's been really quite phenomenal. So it's like, but you don't want to say, hey, how do you want to have a hybrid party? You know, oh, you can have a hybrid party. Your customer's looking at you like, what? Instead, you want to just say, you know what, we can gather a few of your friends together in person, and then we can run a Facebook party at the same exact time, invite all of the people that either feel uncomfortable coming or that live out of the area. How does that sound? Oh my gosh, that sounds fabulous. Okay, let's do it. I mean, you don't want to call it that. Multiple host events. Right now, you know, probably some of the ways that people are getting the most sales are by doing multiple host events. So doing 3 hosts in a night. You know, there are some people that they're like, I never do a single party anymore. I do 2 parties a week. I do 3 hosts each night. I've got 6 hosts a week. And then I am selling $15,000 a month. And that is going on all day long out there in the industry. But you don't want to say to a host, hey, how do you want to be part of my multiple host event? You know, call it a fun thing. How would you like to be part of my holiday extravaganza? Or how would you like to be part of my my product launch? You know, you can create different fun names. You can call it a Shamrock special. You can call it sharing the love on Valentine's Day. Like, but the more the group events, actually with 2, 3, 4 hosts, actually get more people commenting. It actually creates more algorithm in it. Notifications go out to more people, and you can give away just a few drawings in one night instead of giving away, you know, just one drawing. Or you can give away 3 things in a night, and it makes it more fun for everybody, but you've got 3 hosts. So that is definitely something to think about. The last thing that I want to talk about with this is, because we already talked about enthusiasm, right? Here's the deal, guys. I've watched hundreds of online parties from almost every single company out there. And the one thing that always strikes me is when we were in person, we talked about everything. But when we've gone to online, it's like your energy level about your products is like way up here. Like everybody's like, oh, let me tell you about this next product. You're going to love this. Oh my gosh, this, you know, smells just like your grandma's baked apple pie or whatever it is. You are just like so enthusiastic. And then the party ends and you're kind of like, and something to think about, you know, some people do this whole doggy, they shake their head to one side and then the other. Something to think about is hosting your own event. You know, it's fun. It's like your energy level was way up here, and now it's kind of like you're like kind of going, yeah, kind of think about it. And we don't want to be that way. We want to have that same energy. And then with recruiting, it's almost non-existent. I'm like, you guys didn't even share anything about the business. Well, I posted. I love my job. If you want to know more about my job, let me know. Well, that is no enthusiasm. If we want to really create interest and have people like, invite people to take a look at what you do, you need to keep that same energy level up about all three aspects of your business. And that is booking events, selling your product, and having people join your team. All right, sales. The best way to do sales, obviously, is through that customer community group. I just really want you to start thinking of it like that, start talking about it like that. You want to get engagement in there. It is a great place to post your monthly sales, customer specials, things that are going on, but it is also a place to let them share. What's their favorite item? Where do they have? Who owns this candle? Where do you have it in your home? What's your favorite scent that we have? Start asking questions so that they get to share. Have people take, pictures and where it is in their home and having them share on there. People also like to talk about things that they'd like to be part of, just a fun community. And they like to talk about things that don't have anything to do with candles. So here's the top 3 things that people like that share on Facebook. These are the top 3 things that are shared on Facebook, period. And it's straight from Facebook. So number 1 still is quotes, like funny sayings, special quotes. People share those like crazy. They love them. So by sharing a nice motivational Monday, putting a nice quote up there like that, people are going to like that in your group. Of course, doing this or that. Which do you prefer? And it could be this or that on anything. If you go, we have so many of them in our planner. We looked up all the wacky days like on Facebook and put them in our planner for you, like chocolate cake day and donut day. And so then it allows you to create some conversation by saying, which is your favorite donut, and put 4 donuts, and then people pick. But what that does is it's creating algorithm, it's creating engagement. The second thing that people love and like to share is recipes. So when it's a holiday or especially, special holiday event, so Thanksgiving is coming up. What are you taking? What is your favorite dish to take to Thanksgiving? If you want to drop your recipe in here, you can. People love that. And it makes them feel like, oh, and then somebody shares something and they go, oh, that sounds so yummy. I'm going to try it. And somebody says, I've been making this for, 20 years taking to Thanksgiving. Like, people get to know people in there too, and it creates a community. The third thing that people like to share is house hacks. Like, how to cut a watermelon, how to save space in your drawers, how to do just whatever. These are fun things that are going to create a more community experience. And then around that, you can say, oh, and here's our sale. Now, a lot of people have a hard time going live every week. Again, you want to be purposeful with that. So a good way to help you is let the company lead you in that. Like, they tell you what your specials are usually at the beginning of the month. So week 1, let's pretend you're going to do Tuesdays. Week 1, tell them what all the specials are for the month. Week 2, focus on a product. Focus on one of the products that are either on sale or that are seasonal, and just do like quick little short videos on that product or a grouping that goes with that product. Third week, this is where you can do your own show in your community group. But we call these micro shows or micro parties, where you're not talking about all of your stuff. You're talking just about like 3 to 6 items or 5 to 6 items, and doing little what we call micro parties. The best thing to do is have a special bundle. And if the company has a great customer special, you can pick a couple of items that go nicely with that, create a bundle, show how that bundle is cheaper because of the item that's on sale, right? Everybody following me? And say, this is our, this bundle is a great one to have, and you can sell that all day long. So that's like week 3. And then week 4 is, specials are, the month is running out. If you haven't placed your order, make sure you do. And don't forget, next month you can book, like talk about bookings for the next month, get your calendar booked up for the next month, talk about joining your business opportunity. So come up with a plan if it makes you nervous going live, and that will be helpful to you. Another great thing to do periodically, especially when new products are released or like during the holidays or maybe during Mother's Day, is share like the top 10. And this allows you to go live for 10 days in a row. And this is always kind of fun. You can only do this a few times a year. Like you don't want to do it every month because people get tired of that. But like during the holidays, here's our top 10 gift giving items. And you can go live for 10 days in a row. And people then want to show up and hear those. You can do the same thing. Mother's Day is the second biggest holiday next to Christmas. So that would definitely be a good time to do something like that. You can do our 10 most popular items, and you can throw that one in for good measure anytime that you want. You know, you can pick different seasons. Maybe I want to do that once a quarter and map it out and say, what am I going to do that on? So top 10 lists or top 5 lists are always really great to do in your group. Now, recruiting. This is still one of my favorite parts of the business. And as people have moved online, they've really sort of like let this piece go by the wayside. We've really put a focus on sales, and people aren't thinking as much about it. And it's because they're not talking about it. It really is the only reason. Is the interest level out there in the world at large, is it still there? You bet it is. And in fact, I believe with every fiber of my being that 2022 is going to be explosive, because there are more people displaced from the workforce than have ever been since the 1950s. People are going, I don't want to go back to this job that I had. I want to do something different. I want to do something for myself. I want to have a side hustle of some kind. 46% of people today are saying, I want a side hustle of some kind that I can do for myself to diversify my income. Now, here are the reasons that that same group of people are saying, this is why direct sales is appealing to me. It might be different than some of the things you've heard before. So I just want to share these with you because they're hot right now. And it's important that this is some of the language that you're using. Number one is the ease of getting in. The ease of getting in. There are a lot of people that want to do an online business. You know, they see people on Etsy doing this stuff and, you know, all these other different things, but it's not easy. You got to get a platform. You have to have a website. You have to have a merchant account. You have to source a product. You have to either manufacture the product or figure out where you're going to get the product from. You have to house the product. You have to ship the product. There's nothing easy about it. Everybody wants it, but there's nothing easy about it. Some people are referring out there in the regular world to direct sales. It's like a business in a box. You get the box, then you get a website, the very next day you can start selling product. And that is why it's appealing to them. We know that that is still true. That's one of the things. It's a very low risk factor, and you don't have to wear all the hats of the business. You just get to show product and make your income. I mean, that's what I've shared forever. And that's in essence what they're saying, but it's just different language slightly, right? Number two is they want an already established brand. And that's what you have, you know, and because when they start their own, nobody's heard of whatever they're doing. If somebody goes up and looks at Mia Bella Candles, guess what they're going to find? They're going to find it in search engines. They're going to see it's a legitimate company. They're going to have confidence in that, in ordering. So that's what I mean by an established brand. And number three, they want to belong to a community of like-minded people who are going to be supportive of their business, who are going to be able to share ideas and give them ideas on running their business. And that's exactly what you have. Now, I've shared these four. These are called my basic rules of recruiting, and I've taught these for a very long time, and they still apply very much today. So I just want to cover those with you really quickly as we are coming to the end of our program. So thanks for sticking with me. tonight. So number one, and this one is going to be the most important one, especially online. Number one is always invite. You have to ask people. You have to invite them. Don't even think about asking like, hey, would you like to give this a try? Just simply say, I'd like to invite you to take a closer look at what we have to offer. I'd love to invite you to take a closer look, take a peek at what we're all about. We're a lot of fun. And just, you can add some additional, word choices to that, but it's all about creating, hear me really well on this, creating a safety zone for people to be curious. There are so many people out there that are curious, and yet they're just watching in the sidelines and going, oh, I don't know, because you guys, a lot of time, there's two different ways to go with this: soft word choices and hard word choices. Hard word choices are when you make a post and then you say, if you're ready to join my team, if you want to get started, if you're ready to join, if you're ready to start making money, then please let me know. They're like, oh, I don't know. And they never even let you know they're slightly interested. Soft word choices are, if you'd like to take a closer look, if you'd like to find out what we're all about, if you'd like to know more information. That is oh, they're not asking for a commitment. I can say, I just like to know more. I just like a little bit more information. I had a top leader last year reach out to me and say, Belinda, I was always a top recruiter in the company. I knew her for years. And she said, I'm just like, I've hit a wall. And she goes, this post I made last week, I didn't even get a single hit on it. So I said, well, let me see it. It was like in October. So it was like, are you looking for a fun, flexible way to make some extra holiday cash? And so it was cute. And she had a really great little picture there. But at the very end of it, she said, if you are ready to get started, message me. Well, no one did. And I said, you made the number one mistake. You're asking them to make a decision while you're still creating interest. And so she goes, oh my gosh, like, I guess I didn't even I never did that in person, but I do it online. So she changed up the wording right then while we were on the phone. She left the first part of the whole thing and then said, if you'd just like to know more, if you're just curious and would like to find out a little more information about this, please comment below or message me. And she said, oh my gosh, within 2 days, I had 7 or 8 people that had reached out to me. And in 4 days of running the first one, she had 0. This is the difference, my friends. So you want to make sure that you are inviting and creating a safe zone with soft word choices for people to be curious. Number 2 is never prejudge. I hear more and more people today going, I just want to really recruit good people. Well, my goodness, if we had a crystal ball that could do that, we'd all be super wealthy, but there isn't. There is not one. So you extend the invitation. How would you like to give it a try? Some will do well, some won't. And that's the way that it goes. And because some people say it's a waste of time, but you want to know what? It isn't. It isn't at all. If you treat everybody that walks in the door the same, some will take off with it. Some will really take off with it. Some will do very little, but they'll usually do something. So you can't, there's no way of knowing. Trust me on that. Number 3, I used to say, always do a recruiting talk, but I've changed it now, being online and everything. It's just open your mouth. Like, you gotta talk about it. If you're gonna make a post, then you need to be excited about it. You need to say what was in your post. You need to do it with enthusiasm. I don't know if you've ever considered doing this. I can see you really love the products. I don't know if you've ever considered doing anything like this, but how would you just like to take a closer look? Oh, yeah, I would like that. Okay. Somebody said to me yesterday, I don't know what to say. She goes, the lady walked up to me and said, you seem like you really love your job. And I was like, I really do. I go, that is the biggest clue you're going to get. You're like, I really do love what I do. And you know what? You could too. I don't know if this is something that interests you, but it is fun. And we're looking for fun people to hang with here. Like, that was a great open door. And yet people miss complete clues. So make sure you're opening your mouth. And number 4, which is important, is, stop looking for recruits. You're not looking for people to join your team. You're looking for interest. You're looking for leads. The more people that you have in your lead pool, ultimately, the more people that will join your team. Most of you, when you don't have recruits, you ask people, well, how many people are on your lead list? 0. When it takes 1 in 10, it is hard to get recruits when you've got 0 leads. So work on just generating that lead list. That will also take the pressure off of yourself, and it'll make it a little bit more fun. All right, so what I'd like to talk about right now, 5 more minutes of your time, is I'd like to talk to you about a tool that I developed for the industry. This is our planner for direct sellers. The planner itself is designed in a very special way that helps you to stay on track, stick with it. Our testimonials have been incredible. Like, oh my gosh, I will never use another planner ever. I earned my first company incentive trip since using your planner. My sales have been higher year over year since I've been using it. So the testimonials go on and on. So it's 188 pages. It does have the built-in tabs. It does have a built-in double pocket in the back. And it does have a full page of stickers, which are lots of fun to use in your planner. But it's really what's inside and the way that it's designed is what's important. And there's all kinds of fun things, like this inside page is fun. It's just a calendar, and it's actually a laminate page. People can check daily things off and then swipe it clean and use it. Some people do, some people don't. But here is the guts of it. The first thing that we have in here is your 4 quadrants: your health, your family, your career or your business, and your personal growth. It's really important to always map out the 4 areas of your business because it will help you set healthier goals. You'll feel more well-balanced, and you won't feel guilty about, the things like, I'm spending all my time on my business, but I've not set any goals for my family. So when you do, you'll actually feel better about that. Filling out that 4 quadrant will really help you fill out your vision board. I've talked about the importance of having vision. When you have your vision board right in your planner, you are reminded of it all of the time, of why you're doing what you're doing. So when you have rough days, it's like, this is my purpose. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Then we lead to your business strategy page. It has here all of your goals for the year. And then this is how you're going to map it out, or your plan of action. We added 2 new pages this year. This is all in regard to social media. We give you a good sample of a content calendar, which can help you to create yours every month. And we give you all the places you should be posting every month on your personal page, your business page, your customer community, and Instagram. This is the beginning of every month. They all look the same. And it has those special dates I told you about. It has your focus of the month. And then it has a place for you to put what you want to focus on for the month. It also has a place for you to put all of your stats and your goals. So this is what I did last year of January. This is my goal for this year of January. And then did I hit it or did I not? And how much, plus or minus? Now, this little icon right here, I don't know if you can all see that. It's a little yellow icon right there. That means that there's a video associated with that page. And every month I do a training video just to help set the pace for you, giving you, it's usually 15 to 20 minutes, just some tips on what are some things that you might really want to put into action. In this planner this year, there are 21 training videos. So there's a training on the power hour, which is on accountability. So it can help you stay focused. 2 different calendars. This is the month at a glance. I'm a huge advocate of month at a glance. That is because it helps you to be more proactive than reactive. Each box has these 4 tiny boxes. That is for tracking your power hours. That's a program I teach on income producing activities. And then we have your weeks at a glance, which has your daily scheduling, starts at 8 a.m. and goes all the way till 9 p.m. in half-hour increments. It has your top 5 things to do for the day, and it has a healthy habits tracker. So steps, water intake, different things to help you be mindful of having good health. That continues through the whole year. In the back of the book, there's a place for leads. There's a book resource page. There's a tools apps resource page. There's tons of great information embedded into this planner. So the planner itself is $48. That breaks down to, honestly, about 13 cents a day. It's much cheaper than what most planners are of this size. If you want to go look them up, I can promise you I do the research every year. Last year they averaged right around 58. This year they're averaging right around $68 because how much price of paper and everything has gone up, but we've kept ours at 48. You can buy that by itself, or you can buy this great little bundle called the I Want It All bundle. It's got our theme there for the year. And what comes in the bundle? So you get the planner, you get the gratitude journal, which I've already talked about. We have a leader planning guide. So this is awesome. There's not another one like it in the market. It isn't a calendar, but it helps leaders map out what they're going to work with on their teams. It has a place for who you're going to connect with for the month. It has a whole 2 pages of challenges that you can do with your team regarding booking, selling, recruiting, their customer community group on your page. So even if you're not a leader yet and you're wanting to be one, this is an outstanding tool to have. And then we have this fun little accessory bundle, which is markers that do not bleed through the paper. You get 2 pads of Post-it notes, which say your top 10 things to do for the day. You get this awesome little set of magnetic bookmarks with our theme for the year. And you get 3 more pages of stickers. So, and people love those. If you bought all of that separate, it's $154. But when you buy it as a bundle, it's called the I Want It All bundle. It's $119. Now we do have a program called Sezzle on there. If you click that, it'll allow you to split your payment into 4 payments, which makes it a little bit easier for you. When you buy the I Want It All bundle, not only do you get a $36 savings with that, but you get free shipping with that when you buy the bundle. And we are doing a summit. We're going to have 9 speakers that are going to be speaking at the end of February. And we did one in October. It was a huge hit, but we've got 9 speakers lined up. We've got a panel of direct sellers talking about social media strategies. And that summit is $97. But when you buy the I Want It All bundle, your ticket is free. So that allows you, it's really a $266 value for $119, and you can split it into the 4 payments. So when you order, so I posted under my picture with the box. So when you order, place your credit card and everything, you're going to see 2 little pop-ups that come up. We have a couple of bonus buys. It's 2 different programs that I have. One is called our launch box. It has the Direct Selling for Dummies book and workbook plus 5 additional courses. And that's like a $345 package, and you can get it for $58. And then I've got my Recruiting Made Easy, which is 11 hours worth of information on recruiting effectively. That's a $300 value, and you can pick that up for $58. So you can get either one of those bonuses for $58. I also would like to encourage you. It says on there, would you like a free gift? We have a great membership group called Direct Selling Now, and you can actually get 2 free months to that when you purchase the planner or the bundle. And we do lots of ongoing training in there. We give you images to use every month. It's a pretty awesome place to be. So any questions or I got the recruiting one and I already started it. I love it. Thank you, Julie. The recruiting one is pretty awesome. People kept asking me, they didn't like going through all my programs and hunting for all the recruiting stuff. They said, can't you just do something just on recruiting? And so I think it's been 3 years ago now, I said, okay. and it ended up being 11 hours. But I wanted to break it down into every way that you would recruit. Out and about, online, following up with customers, like every which way under the sun. So it's pretty detailed, and it's lined out in a way that you can go just back to the section that you're looking for. All right.
I had a question. Can you send these to Canadians?
So here is the good news for the Canadians. So the price is, of course, in US funds. So it's gonna be about 20% more. However, I paid at the beginning of this process. So back in September, I paid to have everything shipped to Canada. So there is a warehouse that we use in Ontario. So your orders will be shipped from Ontario. So you will have a regular rates of shipping. So no higher rates of shipping, free shipping if it's over $100, flat shipping if it isn't, and you pay no duty. So it'll look just like it's coming from Canada. And we paid for all those costs up front. We have figured out that in itself probably saves you the 20% extra that you're going to pay on the exchange rate. So we did incur that cost for you, and we made it easy, and you usually will get it within a couple of days. And the Ontario warehouse people are awesome. They get them out daily as they get them in.
And I did post the link to the planner in the comments a couple times, and guys, I'll put it in the email too with this recording, so you'll have it as well.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Of course.
All right. Well,
any
guys,
tool to help them grow their business, we support.
Oh,
this was really a great training. Thank you so much.
Oh, you are welcome. Did anybody have, just because I haven't ever spoken to this group before, I'm so excited to be with you tonight. Honestly, I truly am. So I know we've gone over it everything, but does anybody have an aha or like a takeaway? Does anybody want to share their favorite takeaway or something they want to start implementing right away or do different?
Actually, yeah. Can I tell you, I started watching your recruiting video, all the recruiting ones. And as you were talking about going on your bike to your Mary Kay party, which I absolutely love that you did that at 14, you started talking about the little boxes that you picked up from the Mary Kay, thing. And I decided that was what I was missing. I have in salons samples and my cards and a candle burning, but I was missing a way to get leads, and that made me think of it. So I actually ordered on Amazon these little boxes that lock up that I can set up at the salons now, and actually have a way for me to sign up for a chance to win something, so I have leads.
Perfect.
So I was really excited. It was my aha moment. And we weren't even hardly started.
Yeah, if
I
anybody...
have to say, Belinda, we probably have a record number of people on tonight because you're giving something away.
I am, and I've got the winner right here. All right.
Amazing how that happens. Everyone loves something for free. That is for
You know what? It is amazing how that happens. And when we say you got to be here to win, it's amazing how they show up too. It's amazing all the way around. So our winner tonight is, and you have to be on. So if they're on, they have to say, I'm here. And then if you're not here, we'll go to the runner up. So the winner tonight is Michelle Waltrip. Michelle Waltrip. Is she on tonight?
You on, Michelle? And if I see a message from her. Michelle, I'm not seeing.
I'm not either. I see a Michelle 832, but I don't know that that's her. That's the only Michelle I'm seeing on here. Oh, goodness, guys.
Michelle Waltrip. Someone saying who? Michelle Waltrip.
Michelle Waltrip. All right. We are going to go to our next person.
Gone.
Going. The next person I have on here is Carrie Hartman. Is Carrie
Carrie
on tonight?
Hartman. Carrie, you
Oh,
with us? You're unmute yourself or just make a comment that you're here.
I hope we get to give away a planner tonight. I'm gonna have to. Okay, our next one is Michelle Wallace. Is Michelle Wallace
Michelle
here?
Wallace. Michelle Wallace. I'm here. Okay, who's here? I'm here because we called 3 names. So it's just an iPhone. All I'm seeing is iPhone. Message your name.
Who is it? Do we know?
I think it's Michelle Wallace. It's Michelle Wallace.
All right, Michelle Wallace is our winner. Woohoo! All right. So Michelle,
Congratulations.
yeah, we'll send you a special code, and then what we will do, you will use that code when you go onto the site, and then the planner will pop up as free. And then if you want to add anything else to that, you can, and it will all be shipped together. So that's how that works. So we'll make sure we get that to you guys. Donna will send that over. All right. Well,
Great.
thanks everyone for joining tonight.
Yep. I
Can
don't
you
think we have any
repeat?
more questions either. So, go ahead.
No,
Yes.
can you repeat where we could get that, the book at?
Yes,
What's the
it
website?
is. So there is a link there, but if you go to stepintosuccess.com, so there's a link here that will take you directly to the planner that she posted. But if any of you go to stepintosuccess.com, that's my website, and on there, click on 2022 planner, and it will take you directly to that link as well. A couple of fun things, if you guys just like free training, I do a free training every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my business page. And they're always just different topics every single Tuesday night. So I would highly encourage you to check that out.
Great. I think I saw Jody post one of yours this morning. So great information.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Thank you for that. All right, everybody, have a lovely evening and a great rest of your week. And thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Bye.
Thank you, Belinda.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.